Hey everyone, how's it going? I hope you guys are doing well. This is my Captain America Civil War review. Finally, I did do. Finally got to review this film because it was one of my favorite films that MCU has put out. It was like, I thought this film wasn't worked well because there's like so many characters in this film, and it turns out it worked out really well, and then there was like so much, a lot of things. There was like they really showed a lot of important moments in this film, and how they feel with the how it shows how much the Avengers have grown, and the stuff they have to deal with the aftermath of what they've done. They have to face the consequences of their action. We start off with in 1991 with Bucky and Russia. They were trying to Siberia, right? Yeah, where they were trying to figure out this guy was trying to activate Bucky's brain in some way by saying certain words in Russian to them to reply. And he did, and then he did his mission, and then we see that in the present day we see that Steve, Wanda, Sam, and Natasha, they were in Lagos, Nigeria. They were trying to find Romolo from the Winter Soldier. They were trying to stop him from collecting this biological serum or something. I'm not that sure what that was, but yeah, to try and find him and stop him, and Steve confronts him and then all that stuff. So that action scene was pretty great. I wasn't sure, I didn't understand why Vision wasn't in that scene. I guess it would have been too easy for them doing so. Also, or maybe Steve didn't want to bring too much attention to what they were doing too much. Well, we got to see Wanda use her powers, and the Falcon's fighting style was improved. We see his new suit looks amazing. I really enjoyed it. I really found it fantastic how the way Natasha Romanoff fights now, that she is a little bit, you can see that she's getting faster with punches and stuff. That was really cool to see. We also get to see Wanda's powers a little bit more. We get to see she ends up saving Steve, but ending up hurting a lot more people and causing so much damage to the point where in the Avengers society we see that Steve and Wanda, they feel guilty for what they're doing, and they're not sure, they're still unsure that they were doing the right thing or not. We see that General Ross is there, and he wants to explain the Avengers. He wants to explain the Sokovia Accords to the Avengers. Tony is also there because he wants to. He was speaking to the students in MIT about his program involved, and he also wants. We also find out that he's not with Pepper at the moment, and he walks up to this lady who talks to him about Sokovia. His son died in Sokovia because of Iron Man, because of Ultron, pretty much, which was Tony's fault, which he did say in the film. This really shows a lot of. We see the General Ross shows the Avengers the videos of all the stuff all the damage they caused. They start to understand that, yeah, that was allowed. It's not easy being a superhero for them in some way. I understand, like Tony. I understand Tony's side on why he wants to sign the Sokovia Accords, and I understand why Steve doesn't. And I'm a little bit more on Steve's side in a way, because I feel like they said, well, if they need to go somewhere, they need to go somewhere, they won't let them, you know what I mean, like the UN won't let them. Peggy, unfortunately, passes away, pretty much, and it's weird, like, the funeral scene, they used like a photo of Peggy from the 40s, but not recent years. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, other than that, it was interesting scene. Sharon Carter talked to Steve, and we get to know a little bit more about her in this film. I really feel like they really connect. Steve and Sharon, they really connected well, pretty much, and I really enjoyed those moments with those two together. I really liked that Falcon was there with him. That Sam was next to Steve in London, and also Natasha as well, holding him. That was really nice and sweet of her to do so. They introduced to T'Challa. See that he talks to Natasha about he supports the Accords, but not anything else. Politics involved and such. So we didn't know. We did introduce to him in a really great way. We did see why. We did see a little bit moments with him and his father, and then the last happens, and then we see him months later, talking to Natasha and outside. They were talking about how he's just killed Bucky because they didn't. People think that Bucky was responsible for the blast, which he wasn't. We see that this Zemo guy, he wanted to find the journal that that Hydra used on Bucky. He's going through all these steps to get to Bucky, so he didn't destroy. He didn't. Oh, not necessarily feel like he doesn't want revenge. He just wants to mess up. He wants to get in the Avengers way, pretty much. He wants to do that too. Instead, he wants to mess around with Steve and Tony. Get that battle scene with them in the highway. It shows us how dangerous the Avengers escalate when the Avengers get involved. Steve and Sharon talking to each other about why they, and also Sam talking about the picture, the video of Bucky outside causing the blast, and we see that they're like connecting the puzzle pieces together on who is really responsible and that stuff. And then we see that Zemo wants to release Bucky and such, which he succeeds in doing, then it becomes this entire mess. The action scenes are really good. I really like that the part where like Steve finds Bucky in his the place where he's staying at. We see them talk about that they're doing a lot of things with him. They're trying to understand why he is where they're trying to see, wants to know if it's really him or not. And Steve just he wants to believe him, but he can't. He just wants more evidence that it wasn't him. We see that Vision and Wanda are together in the compound because Tony wants Vision to keep an eye on her because he doesn't want to get like he doesn't want anything to go on with Wanda. He wants to, and Tony sees as protection in some way. And we see that Wanda doesn't want to pay attention to Vision. She wants to do things her own way. She just wants to get out of the compound, but Vision won't let her because he's just following Tony's orders to protect Wanda from a public incident. And we get the sense that Vision loves Wanda, which he's starting to love her because he wants to see her as he does from his point of view in some way. So it makes sense why he feels that way. We see that Tony and Steve, they're talking to each other about the pens and then the chords, and then Howard pretty much of how much he did, how much Howard spoke about Steve to Tony. So there's a lot of things were like starting to write. It feels like Steve was about to sign because he just wants to protect Bucky, which is understandable because that's his friend in some way. And then when he talks about Wanda, he said that's what they take a turn because Tony and wants to protect Wanda, and Steve doesn't like Tony's way of protecting Wanda and all this stuff, protects Wanda to Steve. And basically Wanda's she's a kid pretty much. She's at the youngest adventure within at the moment, of course, and then later on we get to see Spider-Man, but officially she wants to protect. He doesn't like the idea of Wanda being held captive in some way. We see that Natasha Romanoff and Tony, they talk to each other about would Bruce Banner agree with them or not and such, and then who knows. And then we see that Tony wants to recruit his own groups of recruit his own team to stop Bucky and save. He just wants to have. Tony just wants Bucky to be turned in. He doesn't want to hurt him or anything like that. So, but Steve just want that to happen. So Tony goes to New York and he finds Peter Parker. That's amazing. Yeah, we see that Peter is a piece of shit. Yeah, we're introduced to Aunt May as well, and it was a really great introduction to Peter. We get to see that he's been Spider-Man for some time. We see Tony and Peter. They sit down and they talk to each other about how why Peter wants to do what he wants to do, because he feels like he has a purpose on being Spider-Man in some way. It seems pretty good. It's pretty decent. The Underwoods. Yeah, I really like Spider-Man in this film. I was like really excited to see Spider-Man finally join the MCU, and I'm glad he finally did. It's a long time coming, you know. Yeah, what do you think about this film, like, so far? What do you think about this film? Do you guys love the way the characters are in this film? Do you understand why Tony's on that side of signing the accords and why Steve isn't? And do you guys like how they introduce Spider-Man, and then do you guys like they introduce Spider-Man and T'Challa, and we'd like to learn more about Wanda and Vision together and all these other amazing things that just make so much sense. And then the airport scene, they battle each other. That battle of them in the airport, it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I just wish it was the cinematography and the color grading. It was okay, but I felt like they could have done better with that. It could have been shot differently in some ways. I felt like there was a lot of things they could have done better when it comes to filming the film. Yeah, we find out that Buddy's mission was to help out more with the soldiers just like him, but stronger than him in some ways, because he wants to. And they're trying to. We get to see Ant-Man, but then him growing into a little bit size and a giant man. That was amazing. I really love that. I love that they did those. I love that Peter mentioned Star Wars, just like arts, and then at least they mentioned that. Just the fact that they're like copying them, but the fact that they mentioned that makes sense. I really love when Vision helped protected T'Challa. That was really great. Seeing him and everything. They went through Ant-Man. That was really funny. Yeah, it's understandable why Natasha wanted to help T'Challa find Bucky, but didn't want to anything bad to happen to Bucky in a way. So I understand why she went. She like pretty much did that when we first called on Tony's side. We end up finding out that what happened to Tony's parents. See that Bucky was responsible. When I told you guys that in the Winter Soldier review, I actually knew that Bucky was responsible for Iron Man's parents' deaths because when I saw with the Winter Soldier for the first time, I saw Bucky's arm as see Tony, Howard's and it's just deceased. So I was like, yeah, that happened. And then I saw like the candle date, 1991. So you get to see anyone who just sees that newspaper. I'll put here where to find it, but yeah, it shows that you didn't see Tony's parents were killed because of Bucky. I knew that from when I first saw the Winter Soldier. So yeah, I didn't want to spoil it or anything at that time, but yeah, I made the Winter Soldier review. I don't want to spoil that part, but yeah, I want to mention it here because I've known about it. We get to see Zemo wanted to hurt the Avengers because the Avengers were responsible with everything that mostly Tony was responsible for Ultron causing destruction in Sokovia, which made him want to get into the Avengers heads. And Avengers is just mean those two. I'm glad that Avengers wasn't just mean T'Challa. So yeah, I loved it. I enjoyed seeing Hawkeye in this film, even though he was there for a little bit. He was pretty decent. I understand why he wanted to come out of retirement because everything turns out to be a mess, like he said. Yeah. What do you guys think about this film? Do you guys like how treated every character in this film? How the reasons behind everything they done? And then we get to see that because of the battle in the airport, we see that Rhodey was like paralyzed now because he fell so hard because of Vision was being distracted because he was more focused on Wanda in some way. So that I felt that Vision felt guilty of what he was doing because of his paying attention to the wrong stuff. Vision was paying attention to the wrong things at the wrong time in some ways. That's how I feel about that. Overall, yeah, this film was one of my favorites. Definitely really well done film. What do you guys think about this film? And let me know in the comments below what you guys think about Civil War. Did you guys enjoy it or not? Let me know. Here you can see my other Marvel reviews that I've done. And here you can subscribe right here. I'll see you guys soon.